All right, Alfred Teleferro, Mr. Teleferro TV. Let's get right into it. We are talking LeBron James. This is breaking news until it's Mr. Teleferro TV. Salute. My website drops March 1st. Make sure you get ready for that. We're going to be promoting the whole month of February. I'm going to get you pumped and hyped about this site. Anyways, we're talking LeBron James. I'm going to break down every aspect of this relationship, and then I'm going to give you the news, all right? LeBron James is reportedly upset with management, and we've been told that there's a rift between him and owner Dan Gilbert. Now, you might ask Teleferro, that name Dan Gilbert sounds familiar. Not just that he's the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You might remember him when LeBron decided to take his talents to South Beach. What was that, about, 7 years ago now? He decided to take his talents to South Beach. Many people were upset, of course. The city of Cleveland was upset. People were burning his jerseys everywhere. It was a bad time. It was definitely a bad time. And Dan Gilbert came out with a letter, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He came out with a letter. And by the way, Dan Gilbert is the owner of Quicken Loans, the banking company as well. He's rich. He's stupid rich. And he's a fairly young owner, 55 years old. Worth $5 billion, by the way. Anyways, he was upset and he wrote an open letter to LeBron James, and he was criticizing LeBron for leaving and not telling. And to be fair, LeBron did not tell the Cavs organization that he was leaving for Miami. He kept his secret to keep the ratings of the show, which all the money that was raised that night went to the Boys and Girls Club. But so that's why LeBron couldn't tell the Cavs, because he wanted the ratings to be through the roof. If the Cavs would have found out that LeBron was leaving ahead of time from Miami, of course he would have destroyed that. The Cavs would have been like, no, we're not going to keep this a secret. We're letting everybody know now. We're not going to help you, and you're leaving us at the same time. So there's been a rift between LeBron and Dan Gilbert ever since the owner and the GM, David Griffin, was kind of in between. So we get back, fast forward, 3 years ago when LeBron James decides to return to Cleveland. He came back in spite of Dan Gilbert. He came back for the city of Cleveland. He came back for his hometown, Akron. He didn't come back for Dan Gilbert. He came back in spite of Dan Gilbert. And we're being told that LeBron James sat down. Many sources are confirming this, that LeBron James sat down with his agency and his representation with Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavs. And he was told, they asked him straight up, Dan Gilbert, will you go deep into the luxury tax? As a matter of fact, I believe the term was unlimitless in the luxury tax to help this team grow in the future. And Dan Gilbert said yes. And to give Dan Gilbert credit, Dan Gilbert last year paid a $54 million luxury tax. For those who don't understand the world of the NBA, that ain't good. That's when you pay not only the salary cap you're given by the NBA, but you go over and beyond, all right? You have a salary cap that the team should be paid, that should pay their players in the midst of that. LeBron obviously gets about 20, 30 million of that. And other guys, you got to spread that money out. Just giving you an example here. When you go over that, you can go over to an extent, but you got to pay that luxury tax. And that tax is, it's if you go over, they tax it. They put another number on it, so you might pay. If you go over $9 million, that might lead to about $27, $36 million or something like that. So it gets taxed, and it's a lot. We're talking millions of dollars. Any tax is a lot. All right. So Dan Gilbert actually paid a $54 million luxury tax last year. The Cavaliers are number one in cap this year. They're at $127 million. That's number one in the NBA right now. And he's paying a $27 million luxury tax on that $127 million salary cap this year that the Cavs have. So it's $27 million this year. That's half of what he paid last year. He paid $54 million last year. And LeBron is upset. He's like, you paid $54 million last year. Pay it this year. This year we have obviously we have one roster spot open, and we want you guys to use it. It's been 3 weeks now, and the Cavs have one roster spot open, and LeBron's like, when are we going to use this? I need a point guard. This is what LeBron is upset about. He needs a point guard. The way that the team breaks down, LeBron leaves the game before Kyrie does. LeBron leaves at that end of the first quarter, probably about a 9-10 minute mark. After 9 to 10 minutes have been played in the first quarter, LeBron takes his seat on the bench. He comes back early second quarter. That's when Kyrie Irving gets his break for a few minutes in the start of the second quarter. They do the same thing at the end of the third quarter, and LeBron will come back at the top of the fourth quarter, and so on. The problem is when LeBron is in, when Kyrie is out, LeBron is the primary ball handler. And even when Kyrie's in the game, a lot of times he's a primary ball handler, and he's upset with it, man. Iman Shumpert can't bring the ball down court. Liggins can't bring the ball down court. J.R. Smith is nowhere to be found. Even with when he was around, he couldn't be a guy that you can count on to bring the ball up and down the court, get you into the offense. Obviously, the big guys can't do it. K. Fielder, a guy on the bench, he's not showing the ability to grow, and I guess at this point be somebody that can be counted on to be a good member or a consistent member in the rotation. So that's the reality of the situation. The Cavs need a point guard. The Cavs need a point guard. Even though they got Kyle Korver, it doesn't feel the point guard need. And LeBron's like, man, I'm 33, 34 years old, man. I cannot be doing what I was doing in my 20s. LeBron, for those who don't know, is still number one in the NBA in minutes. And that is ridiculous. Everybody on that list, I did a longer blog on that. Check it out on my SoundCloud. Make sure you subscribe to my SoundCloud and my iTunes as well. For those who don't know, that there's a all the other guys on that top 10 list are in their 20s. LeBron's the only guy upwards of 30 on that list he's number one in minutes right now this season. I think Kyle Lowry is number 2. With that being said, there's a rift between the Cavs and LeBron James right now. Dan Gilbert and LeBron James are even worse than what they were when LeBron left Cleveland, I'm being told. David Griffin, the GM, is kind of somewhere in between, and it's like, man, you see where LeBron's coming from. LeBron's a guy who's like, I dedicate my life to the game of basketball. I give this thing my all. I'm every night I'm pretty much available. I'm playing the most minutes in the NBA. LeBron looks at himself as a business, and I think more guys should do this. LeBron's like, man, look, I give my all to this game of basketball. Every year I want to compete for championships while I'm able to. He's like, man, I got one life to live. Every year I want to compete for a championship. And nobody's ever seen a monster like the NBA. Even like LeBron James in the NBA. Even Michael Jordan went years in Washington without competing for a championship. Even Kobe Bryant went years knowing he had no chance of competing for a championship. LeBron wants to compete for a championship every single year. And, I mean, if you give your life to the game of basketball, I get where he's coming from. But at the same time, I have to break this down. I've said this in every blog previously. LeBron, sir, the reason why you have no money for your bench is because you are the reason why there's so much money being spewed out into your starting lineup. And no, I'm not the guy to say that LeBron James deserves a pay cut. No, I'm not going to say that. But I don't think it's much to say it was a blunder signing J.R. Smith. And J.R. Smith, I love the guy. And who's not to say that J.R. Smith doesn't come back after All-Star break and light it up? But the guy's played, 10, 12 games this year? He hasn't played many games. He's been away from the team, dealing with personal matters and dealing with injuries as well. And it's the reality of the situation. It's a very bad situation on both ends right now. And I'm like, wow, how did we get here where not only is LeBron not happy with Dan Gilbert, that was expected, but now I've seen LeBron complain the last month or so more than we've ever seen LeBron complain. And he's really upset about this roster spot. He wants a point guard. A lot of people are calling for Nate Robinson to be the guy that this team brings in. I actually looked at a free agent list, and there's actually a couple other point guards out there on the market. Jared Jack, somebody I thought could bring the ball up in court and actually fill a role. I thought he'd be pretty good. But that's it, man. LeBron James, we've been told, is very upset with management. I don't think it's to the point where he would leave Cleveland, obviously. He's not demanding a trade or anything like that, but it's definitely not good when your star player and somebody who gives the game of basketball everything he got like LeBron James is upset because, he controls the offense. So if he's upset and he's chunking up more shots, it's not good. It's definitely not good. Kyrie scored 49 the other night. I don't want to call out Kyrie. I don't know who's to blame in that starting lineup. I just think they need more production at shooting guard. But I just can't really give LeBron the benefit of the doubt in this one because you wanted Tristan Thompson back. You wanted J.R. Smith back. You were the ones that told management, let's get these deals done. And, that luxury tax is pretty expensive. It's to the point now where Dan's like, man, dang, I'm not making money, even though he's a billionaire. So, hey, he's an owner of a team to make money, not to just have a team. I thought that was the situation. Anyways, comment responses to this. Pretty good vlog, guys. I'm giving y'all my all in this. Comment responses. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@ismrtelaferro.com. Again, that's booking@ismrtelaferro.com.